We saw him start off with a Hattori, switch over to the Koji. Now he's over to the Ragnar. And then on the other side, it's going to be Reaper coming in with this Hattori pick to start off for game number 1.
We see Apocalypse, Small Mammoth, and Small Brawlhaven left on the board by Reaper. It's going to be Small Brawlhaven, which was GTG's pick earlier against Tiger. Didn't quite work out in his favor. He's hoping for a different result here against Reaper.
There's a lot of really strong upward knockout potential tools for this Ragnar on the axe.
Yeah.
Can go for that recovery if the opponent decides to jump up after the nair, and can also go for that gravity cancel neutral signature, both of them launching upwards if they're able to connect.
And then, of course, he has the standard edge tools of the down signature on guitars, a little Spitfire down on the corner, and even the neutral signature that you just saw. People love to use that as their opponent is going high, trying to avoid a low option. You see Wilson hitting that all the time. You can also kind of do that as well with the guitar neutral signature, and that's going to spike them actually back down, which is exactly where you want them to be.
Definitely a strong edge tool. Lots of strong edge tools in that guitar kit, but a ground pound coming out from Reaper, and GTG really hurting right here in game number 1.
Yeah, even Reaper unarmed, GTG is struggling to find any initiation. He's getting a little bit, but now that Reaper has the sword in his hand, hit the down air, that was a big bounce. So likely a nair can knock GTG out, but it's going to be a high weapon toss that Reaper's going to disarm himself. Both players unarmed. It's going to be a Reaper with the unarmed recovery, going to swap out the spear for a sword. Just kidding, grabbing back with that spear.
Downlight into the gravity cancel, neutral heavy from GTG, and immediately the stock count is evened up. Going to be switching over to the Katars, a little bit faster DPS, a little higher DPS to start this one off.
Reaper doesn't seem to struggle against this Qatar matchup. That was the first little bit of momentum that we've seen GTG get with these Qatars. It was like 3 hits, and then Reaper turned it around and threw out 3 of his own that are going to hit more damage than GTG's.
We are seeing GTG start to get these little bursts of damage, these kind of 2-3 hits. Goes for the gravity cancel neutral signature, but that time Reaper decides to jump high, so the Flame's not going to catch his feet. Ground pound connects, and GTG takes the stock lead.
We'll see if next time GTG goes for the recovery after instead of the gravity cancel neutral signature, since Reaper went so high.
Or just kind of counterplays that and goes for the neutral signature again, expecting Reaper to expect that recovery.
Oh, that's true.
You know, you got to play those mind games, but Reaper, no mind games needed to get that stock and even it up to 1 stock each.
Reaper tried to go for something big. The dash jump ground pound. GTG dodges right through it.
One of that quick KO, that Gimp on the right side. It's going to be hard to Gimp a Ragnar with the axe on the side just because of all those tools. The Nair, the gravity cancel neutral signature, both really good for getting back to the wall.
And especially at this low health, like you got to hope you hit that ground pound and then hope that they like panic.
Yeah.
And then go, oh no, you hit a dare. Oh no, you hit a dare, and then they're done.
Yo, but he is getting this damage built up onto GTG. Tries to read a little bit low. You saw him throw diagonal downward towards GTG, but GTG was way above it. Neutral signature. This is trouble for Reaper. One more hit is all GTG needs, and it's the ground pound, getting just the edge of the hit bubble of Reaper.
Only having to put out 501 damage. That's we'll just throw 165 again. That's a pretty good number. That'll get you to 495. It's close. I'm not a human calculator.
That is definitely some pretty quick kill efficiency. I mean, that last stock was definitely very quick with that final ground pound. But we are seeing Reaper switch it up, going to be going over to the Diana as GTG goes to the Fate.
A lot of character swaps here for the SEA boys. Going back to Brawlhaven, though, keeping that consistent.
3, 2, 1.
We'll see what GTG is able to do with the Scythe, with the Orb. Whether he's able to find better string options with those weapons than he was with Qatar's.
Oh, okay, he touched.
Still had the dodge.
Yeah. Which is all he needed. GTG not able to get that stock on the left side. Side light, down light. Goes for the read, expecting Reaper to dodge down.
Reaper finding some good damage here. Going even so far with GTG. There is a weapon spawn on the field. This is like the longest I've ever seen a weapon spawn stay on the field. So both of these players definitely want to stick with both of the weapons that they have right now.
Yeah, they have no strong reason to swap weapons. Both of them able to trade relatively efficiently. GTG going to be going over to the Scythe for the side signature and then back to the orb.
Weapon spawn coming in. Reaper is going to snag it straight away. Has the bow in his hand. Nice little opening gambit from GTG.
I love the way that GTG is playing off that orb downlight, trying to delay his response. Ooh. First time he goes for the gravity cancel sidelight. This time he goes for a delayed neutral air.
Just barely picks up that recovery. I think that was going
to
interrupt a side air. There's the ground pound from Reaper. Still kind of far behind at this point. He's going to have to be careful. Weapon spawn going to go straight to GTG. Opens up with the down air, sending Reaper towards the edge. Another down air.
No turnaround opportunity for Reaper, but GTG goes high above it. Down sig connects, launches high. Reaper not quite damaged enough. You saw him go for the turnaround.
With that recovery, I think he was he just trying to get as far away as he could from GTG?
I think he was hoping GTG went a little too high, and then he got for the instant turnaround. But unfortunately, it did burn a lot of his movement options high in the sky, so GTG hitting that recovery means that Reaper really didn't have a lot of options to get back to the stage.
Nice D-Sig.
Right on the corner, perfect place. You see the way he's positioning for it. But it's going to be the down air, and Reaper evens up the stocks.
Man, using that down signature right on that corner puts your opponent in such an awful spot, especially with how low health, or sorry, low damage that GTG had on that stock.
You see him going for it again. Side signature thrown out. GTG not able to punish.
You see, he's not going to stay on that corner for long, though, because he's worried about that down signature. We've seen the neutral sig, we've seen the down sig, no side signatures from Reaper. There we go.
There's one. The orb toss just as a little bit knock on the back of the head of Reaper. No orb spawn for GTG. That's what he's looking for.
Both players last stock red here on small Brawlhaven. The Nair. Reaper trying to chase into the sky. A lot of moves coming out. That just barely interrupted. I think what was a recovery from GTG. That's going to be the game. Reaper tying up the set 1-1.
1-1, and despite how delayed that last stock was, their damage is not that high. 540 to 520.
Yep.
Pretty quick kills all around.
I think unless someone immediately bans it, we're likely to go back to small Brawlhaven. Both players have now performed positively on it, and we're seeing yet another character swap from Reaper onto Mordex.
This almost feels like a homie match, right? Where it's like you're playing with your boys and you just start swapping characters because you're messing around a little bit. But the fact that GTG is swapping back to the Ragnir, maybe not so much. Maybe GTG is like, all right, the boxing gloves are off. We're going bare knuckles for this one, as it's going to be Reaper versus GTG for game number 3.
I didn't catch character levels on these to see how much Reaper's played this Mordex and how much GTG has played this Ragnir. Obviously, he does have a black color scheme, so he's at least level 25 with that character. But we don't know whether he's like level 26 or level 84.
Level 25 and a half.
Yeah.
Katara's coming out from GTG, trying to get those down lights. Might have wanted the weapon swap, but ended up picking up the Katars again. You see how much he's doing this weapon toss. Finally throws him away, and he's going to be switching over to the axe.
Sidelight Sayer. Doesn't immediately go for any other option, like the Sidelight Nair. It's just going to be a raw side signature from the middle of the stage, and that's still knocked out. What a powerful signature.
Ooh, caught him dodging. Goes for a second recovery, wanted the immediate stock return.
Yeah, he tried to finish it up. It's going to take a little bit more than that. He might actually struggle. Nope, not at all.
Toss down. Nope. Gets that stock and immediately evened up.
It seems like Reaper likes dunking signatures. Like he just used that. Of course, he used the Diana Bow down signature on the edge as well.
You know, those diagonal tosses, they're very valuable. You can go for that immediate weapon toss. And at the very least, you're going to be in a really strong position on the stage. for the down air into the ground pound. This time it'll connect.
GTG seemingly controlling this game. Again, tries to go for the sidelight Sair. Not going to be a true option.
Well, the sidelight Sair is true. It's just interesting because usually you go for the sidelight Nair for the higher damage potential.
Yeah, okay.
You get all these different read options off of it. With sidelight Sair, generally you only really see that for stage control or the off chance you're going to go for like a chase dodge ground pound.
Okay.
This time he goes for the sidelight Nair. Maybe he's just trying to keep Reaper on his toes, mixing it up. Doesn't want to go for the obvious option of sidelight Nair. In the same vein, you'll see some players sometimes go for like a sidelight into an immediate gravity cancel sig.
Okay.
Just to like do something that nobody's expecting.
Yeah, GTG definitely controlling this game. Picks up the recovery. That's going to be almost an easy win for him.
Yeah, he was very clean with his axe play in that one. Currently scored 2-1 in favor of GTG, and Reaper going to switch up the picks again. He didn't stick with any character.
Nope.
At all.
On win or on loss.
Yeah, he's just... it's almost like he's playing random, but I can see him locking in characters.
It's a level 27 Scarlet coming out from Reaper. So just a little bit past being able to unlock the black color scheme. And we haven't seen him play Lance or Hammer.
Nope.
If I'm not mistaken.
Not in the character pool of the last 3 games, at least.
Scarlet's a very good character, though.
Yeah, very high damage character. A lot of Scarlets like to go for that Hammer side signature over corners in particular.
Yeah, he's not on a stage that quite fully gets the potential of that, like a Shipwreck or an Apocalypse or anything with like tiny sidewalls. Yeah. It still has smaller sidewalls, so he can cover like maybe a third of that.
Stop clashing out for Reaper. Hits the Nair from below, but the high ceiling of Great Hall, making it difficult for Reaper to finish off this stock of GTG. The neutral signature will work for GTG, though.
GTG sticking with the axe. Wasn't quite as solid on the Katars like we saw earlier. He's now definitely fully found where his axe is going to be, where to place those moves, where his follow-up should be, how to be safe with it. I think that definitely was supposed to be a ground pound.
Yeah, that was an odd decision. Maybe he just went the wrong direction, because if he was facing to the right, then Reaper would have recovered into it.
Yeah.
So it could have been just a misinput in terms of direction. But sometimes you'll see players who are trying to do a ground pound end up accidentally doing a pound signature on those ledges.
Man, GTG has been on those soft platforms a lot, and Reaper has thrown out a lot of neutral signatures, both on Lance and Hammer. None of them have hit.
Reaper about to have a massive lead here if he can finish this stock off of Reaper. Neutral Light is going to be it for Reaper.
That means he built up so much damage, possibly wasting time on that stock. It took 1 minute and 45 seconds for him to take out that stock when he's playing Scarlet, an extremely high force character with a solid set of signatures, true combo knockout options.
Yeah, Reaper was definitely struggling. You saw him kind of swinging for the fences, throwing out a lot of these big swinging attacks that if one hit would have been the knockout, but instead he had those opportunities for like a downlight Sair and couldn't quite get it. Down sig thrown out. It is going to be the reason why Reaper gets up safely. Stomp sidelight, goes for a nice jump into a gravity cancel. Stomp unfortunately wasn't able to connect.
Tar's coming out for GTG. It's a nice little 3-hit.
Just outside the stomp. Goes
low.
That was close. Reaper tries to punish from below. Neutral signature.
Reaper has to play kind of all but perfect.
Yeah.
And maybe he actually does have to play perfect.
He's pretty damaged. Could get hit by like 1 or 2 moves, but still. It is going to start getting real scary soon.
GTG's up 2-1 in this set. That's going to be the side air for the knockout. 3-1 for GTG. He's going to be going back up to face Tiger, trying to get the run back when he just got 3-0'd. What's his option going to be? Is he going to go in with this Ragnar, maybe stay away from the Katars, try and focus more on Axe, or is he going to play something else?
I almost want to see an Azoth.
Okay.
Because of how well his axe worked against Reaper just now. That's likely his most warm weapon. And then his bow worked incredibly well in his previous matchup against Tiger. So I want to see that Azoth, kind of the blend of those two worlds. Granted, he has to contend with, like, this is going to be a different signature kit than what he used in the previous matches. This is going to be